Why can't veterans get jobs? This is Jim Patton with SensibleHiring.com. There are three main reasons why veterans can't get jobs. First, employer fear of continuing deployments. Employers don't want to hire people who may go back into the service at some time in the future. Next, lack of a diploma and employment fit. In this video, I'm going to focus on these last two, lack of diploma and employment fit. Let's say you're a veteran and you're paying for the degree a prospective employer requires, even though you already have what it takes to do the job. Why? Why do you have to pay for this degree? Why do you have to take irrelevant classes? The short answer is, employers want the characteristics of someone who has a degree, not necessarily the detailed knowledge learned in many of the classes that you have to take to get the degree. They do care about some classes, but mostly they want to know you have what it takes to earn the degree. And what does it take? It takes satisfying all the criteria that a degree program represents on a class level, program level, and institution level. All right, let's think about this for a minute. The employer is interested in the criteria that a degree represents, not necessarily the piece of paper. But that means the degree has to be accredited. To understand this, you have to know a little bit about accreditation. So, what is accreditation and why is it important? Well, accreditation requires a periodic external evaluation that makes schools and colleges define and enforce what a student has to be able to do after they graduate. And why is this kind of quality assurance important, this accreditation to schools and colleges? Because without accreditation there is no federal financial aid, and if there's no federal financial aid, there are no students. Who certifies the criteria for accreditation? Well, there are a variety of organizations that are responsible for groups of universities and schools within their multi-state areas. In addition, specific program accreditors operate at the department level to handle those criteria that are unique to a particular program area. What are some of these criteria? Well, here are some criteria that apply to an electrical engineering program with which I am most familiar. For example, the learning activities in the program must demonstrate that students have an ability to apply knowledge of mathematics, science, and engineering, an ability to design and conduct experiments as well as to analyze and interpret data, an ability to design a system component or process to meet desired needs. And there's a whole list of these criteria that we don't need to go through in detail, but that do, as you will see, apply to an employer's situation of trying to find the right person for the job. So how do employers ensure employees meet these criteria? They ask for a diploma. That is certainly the easiest thing for them to do. But is there another way? Yes. Do a pre-employment assessment. Let's think about military experience. Think of someone with technology-related duties, because I'm going to use that list that I had before about electrical engineering. Did these veterans show an ability to design a system component or process to meet desired needs within realistic constraints? Did they show an ability to function on multidisciplinary teams? Did they show an understanding of professional and ethical responsibility? Did they show an ability to communicate effectively? Did they show a knowledge of contemporary issues? Now, they may not have satisfied all the criteria that represent a degree, but they may show they have satisfied the criteria necessary to perform a particular job. Employers are looking for people who satisfy the criteria that are important to them, and not necessarily people who have a piece of paper that represents criteria that are of no interest to them. What kinds of questions could employers ask to get beyond this need for a diploma? All right. Describe a process you created to meet some desired project need within realistic constraints. Discuss a time when you had to function on a multidisciplinary team to achieve some objective. When did you have to wrestle with a situation requiring ethical decision making? Do you get the idea? What else could they ask about? For example, some examples showing diligence, dedication, reliability, loyalty, consideration, compromise, work ethic, technical know-how, organization, project management. These are all attributes represented by, yeah, that's right. It is possible to establish the criteria that people have to satisfy and then assess whether they've satisfied that criteria. Not necessarily require a diploma, just show a satisfaction of the criteria that they need to have satisfied. Why does this make sense? Because many, and perhaps most jobs, do not need to satisfy all the requirements of a degree program. And also, employers can get a much closer match between job requirements and applicant skills and knowledge. The conclusion? Employers don't need a diploma to be assured applicants satisfy the criteria they need. Pre-employment assessment can determine if candidates have what it takes to do a job. Now, many firms offer pre-employment assessment assistance. Our firm, Sensible Hiring, emphasizes the close tie between a detailed job analysis and assessing the characteristics of people already successful doing a particular job, using the same kind of analysis as is done in the accreditation process. To learn more, go to sensiblehiring.com. Thanks.